Greetings, everyone. Greetings, Hive members over on Twitch. Welcome to day 57 of my 90-day challenge. First thing off, today, once again, we start the week number 9 of our challenge here, and it's always good to remember that always take it easy, especially Mondays being the go time for our enhancements for the week. It's really important that we have that self-care, self-love for ourselves, because overall, this is for the future, right? And let's not let the past or our old selves carry into that future as well. So always continue to progress as much as possible here. All right, so yes, with today being Monday, this is the start of two different paths that will depending on health goals. So there are people, 3 categories here: category 1, 2, and 3. So we'll start from the bottom. So category 3 are those people who still need a little bit amount of to reach their health goal, right? So that is in category 3. Category 2 as well. They are down. They're just very close. So say they're very close to hitting their health goals, and at the same time, this is all for as well same people as well. If you're still feeling low energy, so definitely you still belong here in category 2. Even if you think you're in category 1, we'll talk about that in a bit. But if you're still experiencing low energy, right, for long in this group, you're just at the cusp of turning that switch from carbs or glucose to fat, or going on ketones, right? So yeah, you belong in this group, just so that giving you some more time to transition into fat burning mode, right? So, and then category 1 is for those who have reached their health goals, that they don't want to lose any weight. They have a strong grasp as well of their food choices, right? That at the same time, they're not swayed by the food devil, right? Encouraging them to as they would say, cheat, or fall off track, right? So these are ones who are definitely wanting to live a healthy lifestyle as well as hitting their goals, right? So this is category 1. So yeah, there'll be different paths here, especially for those who are in category 2 and 3. It'll be the same path. We'll still stay in the spring mode. Once again, spring mode is not a natural lifestyle, but it's kind of biohacking our body to trigger fat burning mode. And then once you hit your health goals, then we move into a more like summer, a light spring. This is one thing, and this part that we've been doing since week one is a deep spring, and this is once again, this is not kind of a way of a life, but it's just like a biohacking for us to accelerate that fat burning mode. So once you hit your health goal, then that's when we'll get into light spring here, so that they'll be introducing a little bit more options to help maintain it. And once again, we did remove sugar tasting foods, like fruits here, for this deep spring. But definitely there'll be a little bit more options once you hit your health goal. So very important that you stay true to where you are on your health journey, and just for now trust the process. And once again, if you are feeling low energy, then definitely stay in the deep spring here, which is just basically just proteins and veggies, a lot of water, having breathing exercise to keep that stress level low, and just once again, very important to eat and not trigger the body of what would be like starvation, or telling the body we don't know when the next meal is going to be. So hold on to the calories for for emergency. Yeah, we want to make sure the body knows that there's abundance that's still coming. So it's just, once again, we're focusing on bringing the good stuff in. And since we're already starting week 9, then obviously if you stayed true as much as possible, we have removed the foods that is holding us back from releasing the excess calories, or keeping us away from reaching our health goals here. So definitely, yeah, we'll stay in for another deep spring for this week. For those who have hit their health goal, then yeah, there will be a little bit more options. Since we're not there yet, we'll probably talk about that more in the April, May, June challenge group. Then yeah, we'll just, for now, even for myself, who is currently for category 3, so I still have 40 plus pounds to remove since since the start of COVID, right? So I'm just gonna stay true to this one. And once again, we don't stay in this for too long, right? We do our very best to cycle every 4 to 6 weeks, and then once we hit that max, then we do at least 1 week of light spring, just to kind of like do a reset of the body, and then go back into a 4 to 6 week of deep spring again, just to turn that switch on, like a circuit breaker that just popped off, and then just flipping it on again, just to set off the releasing of calories. So that is what we're just a nice reset, and just not a prolonged. We're not supposed to be especially this deep spring, which is more of a biohack, just to accelerate our fat burning mode, right? So it definitely isn't a way of life, right? So once again, once you hit your health goal, then there'll be more options and more sustainable options. Once again, we are focusing on a positive lifestyle here. And once again, it's not always about reducing all the time. It's just it's making sure that we're getting our nutrient requirements met on a daily basis, right? That's a very important thing, and that we're not being controlled by food cravings, and getting triggered by what we see on from the food industry, what we see from commercials. So yeah, we are focused on having food freedom, and that only happens if we are making sure that we are getting the good nutrients in, so that once again crowding in instead of cutting out is very important. That we make sure we get the good stuff in, and then if there's room, if you do have a craving, then at least you're not having the full-blown craving. You're gonna be having it at the moment of just feeling more not having to have all of it, because you're getting to cessation a lot sooner, because we make sure that we prioritize eating good first, right? And then those other foods that we might get triggered from will just be more of a complement, I guess, so to speak, right, rather than being the main dish, right? So yeah, once again, we are finished. We're already 2/3 through the program. We've completed 2 months of the program, and that is once again, it's very important to setting up due dates. And once again, due dates doesn't mean one and done. That's it. We'll just use the term due dates as just just a nice check-in point. So once again, March is our checkout points. Every end of the month, right? And once again, it's very important that we have these ones, because if we don't, just imagine this, like it is we're starting March, and then say that we didn't hit our we have a health goal. What would we want to look at? Well, instead of having March as the deadline for a 90-day challenge, I was like, oh well, I still have the rest of the year, right? The rest of the year to complete this task. And then obviously your progression, your commitment to your health goal, instead of having it being concentrated in those 3 months, right? You're once again spreading it out for 12 months, right? And we kind of dumb down our our efforts into that until until we get to November, December, and that's when we start scaling up, instead of at least scaling up the third month of every 3 months, right? So as for myself, yeah, March is now like kind of a go time, right? So for myself, reaching that final exam, right? So we did slow down this February, but once again, having setting up like a 3-month schedule, right? Instead of having like one whole 12 months as in the New Year's, here's a chance of having basically 4 New Year's, right? If you look at your calendar in a 3-month segment, long enough to see significant changes, but short enough at the same time not to taking it easy, taking it lax for because you have 12 months to complete it, right? So once again, businesses do these quarters, and that's why we always have the 26Q1, right? So first quarter, right? So definitely, once again, it's long. 90 days is long enough to see changes results, but at the same time, sure enough, once again, to put a nice good effort into it, right? So if you don't put the dates in, right, and then obviously, we give ourselves that excuse to put things off for tomorrow, right, or on another day, right? So definitely, once again, very important that you utilize your calendar here as important, right? So I'll definitely give you a peek at my calendar and how it's kind of set up. So instead of using dates here, right? Let's see if I can find a better looking. Maybe this is bigger. All right, so definitely instead of using lists, and we're all great at putting creating lists here, right? Very important that let's see if I can pick a different view here. There we go. Very important that we can use our calendars as lists, right? So let's see here. So very important that instead of just you create something that say um, the groceries, right? Right. So obviously we do a list here for that, right? And definitely edit that to be all day so it doesn't go on your schedule, but at the same time it's something that you can see on here on top, right? And if you have a lot of to-do lists stacking up here, then obviously we create lists, something to remember, but at the same time there is no date on on this list, so we don't put a priority on these tasks. So if you add these tasks to your calendar, right, and you're seeing it on daily on the top of your thing here, then obviously it's like, okay, this list is getting longer, so I need to really tackle these things. So instead of removing them, you can also add them, move them off the next day if those that you have not complete, right? And just once again, just very important to time block these tasks, right? So, and using color coding, so putting stuff in red, right, to say that you have not started these ones, and then turning them into green when you complete them, right? So very important that you use a system in place. Your calendar's there. Your calendar's your friend. Your calendar reminds you of important dates and tasks, right? So definitely important that you have a sort of a calendar system here for you to make sure that you're on top of your goals, especially your health goals, right? Your health goals are very, very important that it's not just a temporary thing. It's a whole life commitment, right? So if you treat yourself, your body, your mental health with love and care, you'll be surprised and amazed on how much it will reward you for the future. And once again, we're doing this and we're doing things for the future. We're not letting the past forward into our future, right? So once again, the past is there as a foundation for us to grow upon and be able to grow on a strong foundation. But at the same time, it's not there to guide or dictate our future, right? As long as you have your goals set in place and marked on your calendars on dates you wish to achieve them, then that puts a duration, that puts you in that mode of hitting those goals. And once again, if you treat your body right, getting the nutrients it needs, getting the air it needs, getting the hydration it needs, once again, both physically and mentally, and it will respond and provide you the solutions and becoming the peak performance that you can be to definitely knock out these challenges, these goals, in the best possible way. So yeah, definitely, once again, it's very important that you treat your calendar instead of a 12 months calendar. Break it down into 3 months, or however you feel like is it good enough. If four months is your thing, then 4 months, you have 3 New Years in a year, right? Really up to you. If you're a go-getter and like to then maybe 2 months calendars, and then you have six New Years a year, right? New Years to celebrate in a calendar year, right? So it's really up to you. Once again, we always stress on the Kaizen approach here, where just make subtle changes so that you're able to monitor and you're able to see what changes are making the significant change, and then investing in that fully, right? So that's why it's very important to track data and not having to track 15 different things and not knowing which one of those things are making the significant results. So yeah, I mean, we kind of inherit the Toyota's Kaizen, their Kaizen approach to just making subtle changes, but making the most important changes in improving their vehicles. So here, our vehicle is our body, our vessel, right? That's containing our consciousness, our spirit, our soul, right? Our feelings, right? So very important that we treat it right, and we give it the best possible tools it needs to succeed and flourish. All right, so yeah, thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm not gonna take too long here. Once again, very important for me to get my sleep here, and once again, it is Monday, so yeah, we gotta we got the whole week ahead of us, so better not get burn out on day one. So yeah, for myself, there are two ways of for me, and once again, the emphasis of doing another week in Deep Spring here is once again transitioning from once the carbs are burnt out through us, training for myself, training my body again to being fat adapted, right? So I was fat adapted back starting in 2018 and into the start of the COVID in 2020, right? Or when everything started locking down, I was still like in the ketogenic state of being able to fuel on my fat reserves, right? And it's once again, it was amazing, right? So I can get in the flow state and just keep going and just not realizing that, oh my goodness, what time is it? I have not eaten my I missed out on lunch and dinner, right? Because I was just getting tasks done. I ran in the past, especially when I just started my running journey, say in 2016. after every race, after every long run, I was in pain. The lactic acid buildups in my legs. Yeah, I'll just say I couldn't run like for a few days after a race. Right, my muscles, my were just in a state of just in soreness. Now, being fat adapted, you know, I can do long runs. 29. I actually did the 42 just before as a training run. Not recommended, right? But I just wanted to see if I can do a 42 without breaking down. Well, we'll say I was able to do 42. We'll say I kind of broke down at 40, 39. I don't know. that was back in 2019, right? So yeah, but after doing a long run like that, 32 or 40 something, I was able, I didn't feel anything the next day. Imagine that, right? And that's because we're not burning through through glucose. We're not creating lactic acids, and it was super amazing. I did for two, and I'm able to function the next day still. So definitely, that experience alone has definitely has encouraged me to just keep going, because I've done it, and I know how it feels. It's just imagine this unlimited, well, let's just say for now, unlimited supplies of energy at your disposal. There's a limit on how much carbohydrates, glucose that your body can store, right? But we can all see how much fat we can store, especially excess glucose or carbs do get converted into fat. So you can see how much there is a limit of carbohydrates that our body can hold and store before the excess stuff does get converted to fat, and the body stores that for future situation. And all this for us, we don't want to store this fat on us for that future use, right? Especially we have no problem in getting food, right? We don't need to store food upon food. We definitely want to utilize the fuel that we consume and utilize that that day or tomorrow, but not holding that for multiple days, right? So yeah, definitely it's wonderful, amazing to just be able to go right, and not feel the signs of fatigue or soreness and loss of focus. So for now, once again, that could be this one of the reasons for my tiredness and fatigue as the body is transitioning to that. Or at the same time, it could be introducing statins back into my life for the moment, since my doctor wants me to go back on that to manage my cholesterol levels. At that point, we said, since your current condition of being diabetic, high blood pressure, doesn't matter, lifestyle change won't affect that. So you know what, I'll just follow the doctor's orders for now, and see where my blood work will be in the next 3 months. So March, February, March, April, May. So May will be my next blood work, and we go from there, right? So definitely do not want to be on on these medications, because you guys can see it just leaves side effects. Once again, they just it's if we don't clean our nutrition as much as possible, we create these complications in the future. These complications build up, and then when it just reaches a breaking point, then let's not wait to the point where it's irreversible, right? Imagine, especially you do whatever it takes to improve yourself. It's you hope that some of these will become post diabetic, a coin that has been paid for those who have went through the program and improved their effects with the diabetes, right? So yeah, hopefully I can join that crowd. In the near future. But yeah, once again, just gotta take it one day at a time and complete these 90-day challenge. And then once again, we have a foundation, a baseline every 3 months to carry us through the next challenge. So whatever my results, I look at this February, and it is a baseline for me to really accelerate it, or pick up my pace for this March, this last month of our Q1 challenge here. So yeah, definitely very important that you utilize a calendar, you time block those important tasks in your day. And once life is gonna challenge you, it's very important that you see these time blocks, that you protect these time blocks, because they are there for a reason, for whether family, for work, or friends, or whatever's important to you, and whatever your core values are, that they're protected, and that you won't be swayed by any shiny objects, any peer pressure, and anything that will derail you from your health goal and your goals and dreams, right? So definitely utilize your calendar, and feel free to break it down to whatever segments that make sense to you. If you need 4 months, then so be it. Then you have 3 New Years. If you need 6 months, so at the end of the 6 months, it's review, and then take that foundation that you learned from the 6 months, and pick up your pace on the second half of the year. So it's really up to you on how you want to utilize, and whichever works for you and your situation, right? Then apply it, rather than just like for those 70% to utilize resolutions, and seeing that, oh my goodness, 12 months to doing this for those 12 months, is I can't do this, right? So, and that's why 70 to 80% of people who create New Year's resolution end up failing, because they give themselves a too big of a window to complete it, to sustain it, right? And at the same time, they give themselves too small of a window, and realizing that just one day can tell them that, okay, well, I tried my very best to stay away from Tim Hortons, stay away from Starbucks, not have a donut, and unfortunately, day 2, we'll give you guys the benefit of doubt of giving you a day 1. Day 2, I just needed a donut, right? So, I'll try again next year. So yeah, just utilizing, okay, well, no, it's just one of those one-offs. I'm having this in March, so it's I'll get back on track, and that's all you can do. Just get back on track. We don't start from zero. We build that foundation first, and then from there, we have a system in place that will, if anytime we get pulled away for a brief moment, then we know how to get back on track. So, all right, thank you so much for joining me tonight. Really appreciate all of you. Thank you so much to my Hive members on Twitch for the love and support and showing up at every stream. I really appreciate. Feel free once again. If this has been helpful, feel free to like and give it the thumbs up. You can also head over to my QR code here on screen, or at the same time, you can head over to coachryanj.com to stay updated. But yeah, feel free to subscribe or follow whichever platform you're on. This is being streamed at the same time on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. And yeah, feel free to stay on track and follow the journey. Once again, I do this to, once again, for myself. I can't help anyone else if I myself need help with my health journey. So I do this in a way to see that it. If I can do it, then you guys who are a lot more dedicated, have better resources than me. You guys can definitely do it, right? So we'll definitely once again utilize streaming this, live streaming this every day, just to stay accountable. You guys keep me accountable. As for myself, it's for the future. It's for the future, not only for my family, not only for my boys, not only for myself grow, but as well those who who trust me, those who follow my journey. It's my form of inspiring, right? So, or motivating, right? So once again, it is my importance for me is community. So definitely want to show my community that it is possible, whatever stage or challenges that you are in, that you are facing. If you really wanted that badly, it's it is doable, right? Once again, don't let the past drive your future, right? Let the past be the wheels, the foundation to carry you and to the destination of your choice, right? Not be the driver, right? So all right, thank you so much once again to join me. As always, can feel free to follow, subscribe, or hit those notification buttons to stay updated, to be notified. But as always, continue to raise your environment so that you can easily raise yourself to the point where you can finally be an impact for your own community, your friends, your family, your colleagues, your own community. We don't know what people are going through. We can't assume what they're going through. But a simple act of kindness can go a long way to igniting that flame within you, but also the flame within them to finally take action and be responsible for their future. Once again, thank you so much for joining me, and I hope to catch you all again on the next stream. Take good care.